What are your thoughts on globalism today?
First, I think we do need to define it a little bit. The people that are today arguing for globalism were very similar to the people that wanted us to go to Vietnam. Walt Rostow and his brother were advocates for going into Southeast Asia with the goal of building a new nation on the foundations of South Vietnam. We've been going through this process off and on much longer than people realize. And what they were always interested in doing, and particularly today's group, is erasing national identities. They're convinced that the way to future utopia is to create a place where no one knows what or who they are, except, of course, the globalists at the top who know that they're in control and ruling the world. So that means you have to destroy national identities, destroy borders, effectively subvert populations from within by convincing the majority population in any country that there's something wrong with them, that they can only improve by abandoning control of their borders and inviting millions of people into their country who are radically different from them, to dilute their identity, change their identity, and ultimately erase any semblance of identity. I think that's a very important concept that most people in Europe don't understand. I don't think we in the United States get it. But if you look at the policies that we've been pursuing, it makes excellent sense, because the policies that we are pursuing are suicidal. They're designed to destroy us. Open your borders, vet no one, let everyone come in and disperse into your population. Then you create internal divisions and fights and wars and conflicts within conflicts, and you have chaos. Chaos then allows those with vast quantities of money like Soros, who are at the top of the pyramid, to exert absolute control, tell you how to live, what to believe, and so forth. And of course, a Trojan horse in the midst of all of this is atheism and nihilism and socialism. And we all know how socialism works. Anybody who lived in the so-called Eastern Bloc understands it. The state controls everything, which means a small minority governs, and everyone else is effectively reduced to some form of slavery. That's nothing that anybody with a brain wants, but that's where we are. And we have these people in Washington and London and Paris and Berlin, and they're driving this war. Now, why go to war with the Russians? Well, because the Russians sobered up, they abandoned communism. If Russia were a Soviet state, I'm sure that all of the globalists would be applauding, since they see that as yet another path to the utopia that they want to build. There used to be this thing we called the Soviet man. The Soviet man was this fictitious human being that would emerge over decades to replace all the various constituent peoples of the Soviet Union, and for that matter, Eastern Europe. And the joke, of course, in Moscow when the Soviet Union collapsed was, well, what happened to the Soviet man?